Well, I'm very happy to introduce our speaker for tonight's graduation ceremony. He really needs no introduction as he has been involved with Trinity School of Texas for many years. Most of you know David Houston is the voice of the Titans, the announcer for our varsity football games and for our volleyball and basketball games. David and his wife Rebecca are the parents of 3 TST graduates, Smith, Lowry, and Forrest. David's mother, Patricia Houston, was one of the early heads of the school, soon to celebrate its 60th year of educating outstanding students. David is a well-known local business owner. He is a long-time former school board member and school board president. Over the years, David has devoted countless hours to the Athletic Booster Club and other student activities. He has been instrumental in much of the progress the school has made. He is well acquainted with members of this year's graduating class. He's also something of a philosopher and a keen observer of the human condition. A man quick with the quip and equally quick with the helping hand. A friend of mine and a friend of TST, Mr. David Houston.
Thank you, Mr. Whitwell, for that very gracious introduction. Graduating seniors from the class of 2017 and Trinity family, it is my extreme honor to stand before you as your 2017 commencement speaker. In the past at this ceremony, we've had state and federal legislators, NASA engineers, ultra-successful businessmen and women, famous and sometimes highly compensated motivational speakers, high-ranking clergy, world-class surgeons, military leaders, and a host of other deserving and accomplished commencement speakers. And tonight, you've got me. What am I? Well, I'm a car peddler. I'm the commissioner of my fantasy football league. I'm a 5th grade graduate of Trinity Day School. As far as academic qualifications, I graduated 83rd out of 84 students at my high school. One of you smart graduates can tell me, is that the inverse salutatorian or the reverse salutatorian? As a matter of fact, we'll soon be hearing addresses from our valedictorian and our salutatorian, and we have an award for the top 5 graduates at Trinity. And all due respect to those high academic achievers, but tonight, I'd like for the bottom 5 to know I'm with you. I've served at TST as a volunteer, a cook, a waiter, a custodian, a driver, a coach, and a teacher. I've served several stints on the Board of Trustees, with a few as president of the board. As Mr. Whitwell mentioned, I'm the exceptional proud father of 3 TST graduates, all of whom attended Trinity from 2 years old through 12th grade. I have a wife, Rebecca, who has served as marketing director at TST for the last few years, and before that, poured her heart and soul into every volunteer capacity imaginable. I am the pseudo-self-proclaimed voice of the Titans. And some of you may be asking, how did you become the voice of the Titans? Well, I served as an understudy to Mr. Leo Butter during the inaugural season of 6-man football at Trinity. We announced games using a Mr. Microphone announcing set. This from our press box, which was the bed of a Chevy pickup truck turned around, backed up to the 40-yard line at Titan Field. Leo missed a game. I hijacked the job, and I've been announcing young men taking it to the house for a Titan touchdown ever since. There are 3 things I would like to accomplish in this address. Number 1, I'd like for it to be short. Number 2, if I can induce a smile, maybe even a chuckle from these esteemed graduates, I'll consider it a success. And third, I'd like to say something, one thing that these graduates find profound. countless commencement addresses and thought, if I were up there, here's what I'd tell these young men and women. Well, for reasons known to only very well, I'm up here, so here's what I've got to tell these young men and women. Anyone who has known me for any length of time knows that one of the main influences in my life was my mother, Patricia Houston. Ironically, as we stand here on the eve of the 60th anniversary of TST, I believe I can safely say she was one of the main influences in the life of the school as well. Not only was she a mother, a teacher, a volunteer, and as she liked to call it, a slave of ash, she went on to become the head of school in the mid-1970s and early 80s. It was the pioneering spirit of Patricia Houston and Mike Mason, among many others, that transformed tiny Trinity Day School into the Trinity School of Texas that stands before you today. I remember her telling me I graduated 5th grade, which was as high as it went at the time. We're going to start middle school and go through 8th grade in the next 5 to 10 years. And I said, you're crazy. Shortly after that, she said, for the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to start high school, and it's going to be one of the finest college preparatory institutions in the Southwest United States. And I said, you're crazy. Well, Mom, I was wrong. I had no idea that what I thought was crazy was simply the mindset of a truly visionary woman. To quote Karen Claywood, visionaries look into the future and see things not through the lens of current reality, but through the lens of future possibility. It is with that visionary mindset that I would like to channel my mother, Patricia Houston, into tonight's address. She liked pearls, and she was full of wisdom, so I'm going to call these Patricia's Pearls of Wisdom. The first of Patricia's Pearls of Wisdom is something that's especially relevant for you seniors right now. It is the only advice my mom gave me before I went off to college, and it's only 2 words. Are you ready for it? Have fun. Have fun. Y'all think you can remember that? My dad gave me advice, but his sounded a lot more like a threat, and I can't for a life of me. Plus, I like my mom's advice so much better, and boy, did I heed her advice. And I'm sure some of you, especially maybe you parents and graduates tonight, are thinking, have fun? That's your advice? Why on earth would you tell them that? Well, I'll tell you, because Gary said I could say whatever I wanted to say. The second of Patricia's Pearls of Wisdom goes like this. Whatever happens, it's okay. Should. That's what she said and how she said it. Whatever happens, it's okay. Should. She usually told me this when I ran into a problem or got myself into some sort of pickle. This was her way of saying, it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to fail. There's one thing in life that is more certain than just about anything else. And that is, at some point in time, now or in the future, in small scale or grand fashion, you are going to fail. Not just make a little mistake. You are going to fail. Now, this could run counter to the advice you've been given by family, friends, and teachers. Most of that advice centers around how to succeed, and that's good. But very few will advise you or prepare you for the fact that you will fail, and even fewer will teach you how to deal with it when you do. I recommend you expect to fail, plan to fail, fail spectacularly. Celebrate failure, embrace failure, carefully study the failures of those around you. Make your failures ones of bold action. No regrets for not trying. Fail falling forward. incredibly successful people defined success by their failures. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is going from failure to failure with undiminished enthusiasm." And Bill Gates of Microsoft fame said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose." So, you oh so successful graduates of the class of 2017 failed spectacularly. And remember, when you do, whatever happens, it's okay. Should. The last one of Patricia's pearls of wisdom is as simple as the first two. This time it's 3 words. See it all. That's it. See it all. Whatever's out there, see it all. It's a big old world out there, and in the words of the late 20th century philosopher Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around. You could miss it. Oftentimes in my formative years, when I was still living under my parents' roof, I would ask my mother, "Can I go?" And before I could finish asking where it was I wanted to go, she would say, "Sure, sure." So I would take off, wherever I wanted to go, seeing whatever it is I wanted to see. Now, that turned out to be an unwise and occasionally dangerous proposition at times. But it instilled in me a spirit of independence and a sense of wonder for all the things the world has to offer. And that was her reason for allowing me to go where I wanted to go and see the things I wanted to see. She wanted me to see it all. And I benefited immeasurably from it. So graduates, feel it, touch it, smell it, taste it, but more than anything, see it all. These Patricia's pearls of wisdom have served me well. I hope they serve you well. As you sit up on this stage, I'm sure you're pondering incredibly important thoughts like, "I thought you said this was going to be short." Or, "Left hand over or under when I get my diploma." Or, "I bet I've got like a billion Snapchats by now." And those are important thoughts. But as you move forward, take a few of Patricia's pearls of wisdom with you. See it all. See everything there is to see. Don't be afraid to fail spectacularly. And when you do, whatever happens, it's okay. Should do. And last but not least, above all,